It's a lot of independent artists that need help with planning their album or their EP. And so I'm going to give you a checklist and some tips that you can follow to make sure that you don't miss a step. Because we all know if you have a delay in your release, that can mess with your campaign and your album sales. So I'm going to give you a complete checklist right after this. What's good, YouTube? This your boy J Wayne, representing music for the soul. And before you can even hit the record button, there's a few things you need to consider when planning your album or your EP, such as, are you making an album, an EP, or an album series? Number 2, you need to choose your songs. You need to find out which ones is going to make the album. Then you need to figure out, are you going to record it at your home studio, or are you going to record at a professional studio? And after you figure that out, you need to rehearse, because you don't want to be going to a professional studio wasting time and money trying to figure out how to deliver your songs. You know, that, believe it or not, people do that and make that mistake. You have to avoid that at all costs. Time is money. If you choose to record at your home studio, you still need to be prepared, because you don't want to be sounding like you're reading off of a cell phone or sounding like you're reading off of a piece of paper. You can use those things. I even use those things. But before I even step into my home studio or a professional studio, I know how to deliver it and I know how it should sound. Once you pick your songs, once you figured out where you're going to record, you're done rehearsing, you need to fine-tune your gear and your instruments. Believe it or not, people will come to my studio trying to tweak guitar strings, trying to tune the guitar. All that stuff should be done. You're wasting time and money. Believe it or not, people do that. And I'm trying to help you avoid these things. The recording steps are, obviously, record. Make sure everything is sounding smooth from start to finish. Make mixes. Listen. Get feedback. And repeat, and keep doing that process until it's done. Once that's done and everything gets okay with that, then you need to make final mixes, and then you need to listen to it everywhere. Computer speakers, your car. You need to give it to your team that you trust. At this stage, I wouldn't be uploading it to social media, sharing it with Facebook friends. It's too early in the stage. You don't want to be giving anything away. Excited as you may be, you just don't want to do it. The next step is mastering and post-production. And what that consists of is you need to pick a mastering house. So if you need mastering, holler at me. My email is be across the screen and in the description below. But you need to pick a mastering house. A lot of independent artists skip this step. They think they can get away with good recording and good mixing. What that really shows is you're not really fully investing in your music, in your business. If you happen to get an opportunity to get on the radio, no radio is going to play a song or a single without being mastered. It's just not going to happen. Also, if you're wondering why your music doesn't compete with, mainstream artists, the reason may be is because you don't have a good master. Sometimes you can have a master, but it's not a good master. That's why you have to get, you have to find a good mastering house. If you go with me, I give you a free sample of what your master would sound like, so you can choose from there. Once you know who you're going with as far as mastering, you need to have the right format, and you need to ask them what kind of files do they need. That's very important, or it's going to delay the process. And that's the whole point of this checklist, is to avoid delaying your release. Then you need to decide the track order for your album. You want to create a total experience. You don't want it to sound like you just slapping songs on there, song after song. You want to create a feel and an original experience. And once you figure out the track order, then you need to figure out the spacing, because that's real small, but it makes a big difference in the flow of the album. Once you're done with the mastering and post-production steps, then you need to take legal steps, such as documenting who owns the songs and the sound recordings. You need to get permission for cover songs, samples, and loops. You need to clear the legal status of all the artwork, you need to clear the legal status of all the texts. And you need to get permission for any guest musicians. Now obviously, everybody is not going to need to take these steps. You got some independent artists that's really starting out, that's just coming up, and they may not need to take these steps. But if you are an intermediate artist, an advanced artist, and want to take your music to the next level, I advise you to take these steps. But of course, you can do whatever you want to do. The next step is replication and digital distribution, and that consists of manufacturing CDs. You need to determine how many CDs you want to order. What kind of CDs do you want to order? Jewel cases, slim jewel cases, sleeves, digipacks, whatever. You need to figure these things out, and then hire a qualified design service to get your stuff together. You don't want to be creating your own artwork unless you went to school or you just real good at designing. You don't want to be doing this stuff yourself. You want to be worrying about making your songs. You want to be worrying about making sure stuff sounds good. You want to be a part of the creative process as far as your music. You know, you just want to hand that off, you know, if you got the funds. Plus, people be trying to make their own CD covers, and it looks like that. It looks horrible. You don't want to be one of those guys that come out with a CD or a mixtape and it look like you did your own cover. You know, you don't want that. That's the first thing that people see. You want to go to a professional designer that's been doing it for a while, that specializes in your CD covers, and then has a great portfolio. If you need help with that, I got some resources in the description below. Some people I know, some people that do work for me. Go into the description. I have great resources for you down there. Once you have your artwork and everything completed, you need to get your CDs printed, and you have to get digital download cards, different things that you can take to a gig or a concert. You want to have all that stuff in order. You don't want to be trying to get these things at the last minute, a week before your concert. You want to have this stuff well in advance. That's the professional way to do it. That's the way I do it, and a lot of other people do it. And the final step is replicating your CDs. You need to collect your materials. You need to proof your designs. You need to proof your audio masters. Take some time with this. Don't rush through it. I know you're excited to get it done, but take your time. Listen to all your songs. Make sure the mastering sounds good. Make sure your artwork is perfect, flawless. At that point, you should be all set. If you need to make any changes, make them. This is the time to do it. This is the time that everything gets confirmed and production starts. So don't hold up production. And then during this time, you need to get ready for phase 2. When you're thinking about making an album, an EP, or an album series, there's 3 phases involved. And I'm going to record all 3 phases in separate video. So this is phase 1. Next Monday will be phase 2. The following Monday after that will be phase 3. And maybe later on, if you really need me to, I can go in depth into each steps that I give you. If you want that, leave a comment below. I'll be happy to help y'all. I look at the comments all the time. I try to reach out to everybody in the comments because, quite frankly, I want to see you grow as an independent artist. Alright, so that's pretty much it for phase 1. Be looking out for the other videos. Don't forget to like this video, comment, and subscribe. And let's make this music, baby.